Okay, I think we can get started. Before we dive in, anything anyone wanted to bring up? Any questions before? We can also chat afterwards. If not, we can dive right in. Okay. So it is the 23rd. We should be at what, 230-ish, Lee?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go with let's take out all the folks who are, say, 60 and under. Okay, RJ.
Yeah, so for the cross-shard value proposition, I spent time on like researching other projects, kind of cross-chain or cross-shard offering like IBC or Polkadot's kind of bridging. Like for IBC, it's actually a very complicated process, and it required users to put lots of inputs, like at least 7 or 8 like fields to put. It's more like a bridging process, so it won't be as smoothly integrated and natively integrated as our cross-shard communication. So that's like something that we can sell as our special differentiation for the cross-shard messaging protocol. Yeah, so there's some research going on. I think next I'm gonna work closely with Ganesh for fleshing out some of the examples for specific use cases and specifically designing kind of the cross-shard HRC20 or NFT token standards. Just basically fit the infrastructure into a specific use case. For transaction pool logic and audit and update, I've been reading the code and auditing the code. Doesn't seem like there's much problem there, and we've been having an issue with Binance withdrawal for some time, but so far we've been like trying to reproduce the problem by sending a lot of transactions. Like Constantine did that, and we still cannot reproduce the problem. So the last thing we're gonna do is I'm working with guys to add a specific flag so that the Binance node can add their own address to be a special priority address, so that hopefully their transaction can be processed and also kept in the record for longer to resolve the problem. For the implementation of the cross-shard messaging, so we're also making good progress. The message sending and also the message data structure are being worked on. The original cross-shard message, cross-shard receipt data structure is being updated to include the additional field for the new cross-shard messaging protocol. Yeah, that's about 80% right now here. Yeah.
Great, thanks, RJ.
Can I ask a quick thing? Since you went first, RJ, can you actually make a link for all the 3 items? What, like, even with the updates that you just gave, because that's very helpful for the context for all the research that you've done and all the links that you can just add into.
Yeah. I forget to do that. I'll do that. Yeah, after the meeting.
Okay, Leo.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't able to attend the all hands meeting in the last 2 weeks. So for the decentralized roadmap is continue updating the document, especially with the additional content for the governance and the current progress. So last month we finished the part 1 about the network protocol and the service. So the governance is actually the key part of the decentralization roadmap. For the game shard, right now, we prepared the elastic endpoint for the shard 1, which is already in production, and 100% of the traffic on shard 1, which is a game shard, already routed to the elastic RPC. And the core shard bridge is to support the core shard asset transfer between shard 0 and shard 1, which is the game shard. It's in our testnet already. And for the network agreement with Timeless, I had a few talk with Aaron and Z on this. So let me still follow up to see what they really want from us. So previously I offered additional help to Timeless because their end backend is actually managed by Aaron. So it looks like Aaron already gets enough information to start the additional relayer. So far, I think there wasn't other problem on the relayer side. Yeah, so basically he set up his own node and set up additional account as a relayer to support the front-end traffic from the Timeless wallet. That's how it works. So let me work with Aaron additionally on what additional things he would need help from us. Yeah.
Thanks, Leo. Lee.
Okay, so for me, roadmap for budget, treasury, and fund. As you guys can see now on the May document, we're actually publicly writing out our treasury and our spending. Sure, yeah, Give, you can, yeah, it's at the, sure, yeah, it's at the bottom. So we'll be tracking, yep, right there, treasury, core team, amortized monthly costs. This will include as much details as possible. And this is actually going to be very helpful because we'll know where the levers, especially as we are now being very mindful about costs this month and going forward, and definitely areas which, for example, cloud costs is a variable cost that we should actually be cutting in a mindful way. Same with various vendors and events. So that is ongoing, and yeah, number of yep, and then treasury management. So we'll be updating this probably a couple times a month so that everyone has full visibility. And then
Great.
Yeah, go back up. One other thing coming out of the offsite, I'll be working more on helping think about some of the DAO adoption strategies and looking at some of the industry products and trends, sharing a little bit more context with the DAO sub-team, and then onboarding execs and other contributors. Onboarding execs and senior consultants. There's one that we are talking to right now. So we'll be working closely with that person.
Okay, thank you. Ganesha.
Yeah, on the MMR hard fork, we are still making slower progress. Plan is to at least this week try to finish the current review comments and start the re-review of the particular PR. And the trustless seed bridge, I'm reviewing currently what are the pending items and making a plan for the launch. Meanwhile, Bruce and Chopin are helping flush out all the pending implementations, etc. I'm also reviewing the PR and merging all that. There's some work remaining there. And the Bitcoin bridge side, I mean, there are still 3 features that we are targeting. One is staking, and other is vault replace, and third one is like vault under collateral penalties. So all 3 of them have the PRs are more or less ready. I'm currently carefully reviewing them, and if everything is fine, we start deploying and plan on launching these features. That's the progress.
Thanks, Ganesha. Yuri.
Hey guys. So first feature, Bitcoin bridge staking and delegation already done, already deployed, and users already use it. So we have published several fixes. So right now it's working stable. And about other features, vault management replace and vault liquidation, waiting when smart contract will be deployed. And after this, I will integrate it So my part with Vault client and dashboard already done. I'm waiting only a smart contract to integrate it and testing and deploy. That's all.
Thanks, Yuri. Okay, let's see, Sam.
Hello. So I am working on the grant guidelines, revising those and getting those up to speed. The quick takeaway is the focus on adoption, which is core. We really want to drive more and more individuals into being able to use the Harmony blockchain as the mechanism to remove inefficiencies in resource allocation. And that's really what DAOs are for, is adoption and removing those inefficiencies. And so we'll see that. But then regarding the grants themselves, they're going to be, as we've discussed multiple times, it's more difficult, maybe the wrong word, but there's going to be very, very clear milestones, very, very clear guidelines on how those work. And so I'm working very closely with the team to finalize that. Gaming and GameFi strategy, that's actually, I think this is fully published, although I want to double check on that. Peter and I were working on this last week, and we're in a really great shape. We have some really good things that we're working on. And regarding the DAO relations stand-up, one of the things that we are working on to improve the DAO ecosystem is to get the best practices and learnings and educations from all of the individual DAOs into the DAO Ops team and back out to the rest of the DAOsphere. The One DAO Alliance will definitely help with this. But every Wednesday, I meet with 3 DAOs and we go over what they're doing, what they're doing well, what kind of things that they're running into. And so we are in good shape. I believe this week we'll be meeting with the Research DAO, the ZK DAO, and, oh shoot, my mind is blanking on the third one. The Liquidity DAO are the ones I'll be meeting with this Wednesday morning. So there you go.
Thanks, Sam. Okay, moving down. So Boris. Hello, Boris.
Sorry. Fixed income, it's what it is there. I started working in the test cases for the Trustless Rich, and we also designed we have that design for the Lifeline for Zero Knowledge, and I started working, and the last few days being heavily working on that, and it will be probably by this Wednesday to be discussed with Ganesha, and yeah, we hopefully will be ready by the end of the week, of the month, sorry.
Okay, thanks, Boris. I know Jack's traveling. Abi.
Hey, everybody. I'm actually connected on my phone, so I cannot switch my camera on, but I'll quickly go over some. So I think there are 2 things which are already in the pipeline, which is the ZKU article on ZKU, and I'm also working with Hakman and his team to kind of set up a newsletter for maybe on a bi-weekly or a monthly basis. But in regards to the articles, there's ZKU, which is the first one, and the second one would be cross-shard messaging. Daniel also shared some of his inputs, and I've shared this with RJ. So if, as soon as I get it back from RJ, that should be going out. And apart from that, everything's as usual. The Twitter recaps on the 1 weekly newsletters. And then we're also working with Z and Erin and team for the co-marketing campaigns on One Wallet.
Okay.
Looking good.
Thanks, Abi.
Thanks.
Okay, let's see. Moving down, I want to make sure we cover as many people as possible. Essa.
Okay. Well, my first deliverable I changed to Q2 offsite logistics. Obviously, that is done. I was planning out accommodations, meals, different schedules, and travel for the offsite. Our ECC event proposal is, I have 40% right now. We found out we potentially paid a deposit for a venue, and we're just making sure that that is actually the case, or if it was just assumed that the invoice was paid. So once that is confirmed, we'll be moving forward on finishing that proposal. And then Ambassador DAO and events collaboration, we finished the initiative proposal on the events internal site, and that is linked here as well that you guys can look at. It just kind of lays out goals and our plan of execution and strategy moving forward for Ambassador DAO and events.
Thanks, Essa. Okay, Max.
So on the block sync issue, I think figured out some ways to speed it up. It's not 100% there. Hopefully I'll be able to catch up soon enough. It's catching up a little bit faster on my slightly slow computer, but it's not 100% there as something like AWS node that we're already using. On the second one, that is replacing the level DB, for that one, I figured out the database that we're replacing it with, just comparing the API, and it's almost there. There's a bit of a wrapper that we'll probably need to write, but that should be close. For the last one, the cross-link stuck on charts, again, there's not been too much changes compared to, I think, last week, but I figured out why this is happening and I'm testing it out. So far, on the test node, I don't see the cross-link getting stuck anymore. But again, it's a slightly tough to reproduce issue. So let's see if this this change eliminates it. Thanks.
Okay, just quickly moving down. I want to make sure we get some fellows in here. Victor.
Oh, hey guys. Yep. So I've just worked on the contract verification issue. There was some issues with hard hat request entity too large, and some issue with multi-file verify. So fix that and release that. Almost the code for Explorer proxy index is finished. I just need to do some final testing to make sure it works. Then I have a chat with I think Jenya and just push that through. That way we can see proxy contracts for any of the tokens that we have. So if someone releases a token that's a proxy, that'll show up in the Explorer. Other than that, if it's scan, I'll work on that after I finish the Explorer issue.
Thanks, Victor. Okay, Sergey.
Hi. Sorry. Last weekend, I finished dark theme for BTC Bridge, and it is ready to deploy. Already working on staking divorce issues. I think it will be ready by the weekend.
Okay, great. Devin.
Hey guys. Yeah, so one DAO conference, or the one conference DAO planning, doing that with Adrian, pretty much got that squared away. Have that at 95 just in case there's some other things that need to change as we develop the one conference. Opolis integration, subgraph should be integrating today. The only thing that's 95 for is because the UI will need to be updated on their end. And also we have a meeting Thursday with members of the team that this is relevant to make sure the team can start the S-Corp filing so that Opolis can be on our radar for all of our internal members and then also DAOs. And then lastly, launching the One DAO Alliance meetings. This is starting here very soon. We think next Tuesday is the day we're going to start it, but we're going to do a soft rollout this week. And my goal is to get 15 unique signatories or 15 unique DAOs there. So thanks, Give.
All right, thank you, Devin. Okay, let's see. Jeremy.
Hi. So we've got some highlights in both color and content. The co-marketing pipeline we basically have completely done. Submitted it to a couple of people internally for review and feedback. but that should be rolling out publicly within the next several days. Also included links to some of our highlights, which we recently had featured in DApp Radar over the last couple of days. So good to see some of our GameFi work from our co-marketing side get some publication out there. Daniel also has the links for the ecosystem report where we're out that. And so far we've got 3 of our teams getting ready to submit their application for the accelerator program. So pretty much everything's buttoned up for the month with the exception of the remaining 2 teams. And we're really pushing to make sure that we get all their information, see if they're gonna be eligible, see gauge interest and kind of go from there.
Okay, thank you. Mohammed is not here. Have to make sure he's got access to this page. To here. We can't hear you.
Can hear you.
Hello. Yeah. So last week, most of the time I spent was with the DevOps issues, and in a couple of days I'll be working as a shadow with SOAP so that I can get on call as soon as possible. On the other hand, almost all the tests for Cloudflare DNS migration is done. Just one test is remaining. After that, then we will decide a day to do the final migration. So that's all from my end.
Can I update your progress here?
Yeah, it's updated already.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. Diego.
Yeah. So yeah, the last week I spent like most of the time like reading documentation, getting up to date for both the on-call and the architecture. I discussed with Leo, and I want to discuss tomorrow with Seth architecture idea I have in mind. And I will spend the week just basically documenting my ideas so everyone can comment and stuff. And the same goes for the stress test automation. Same process. I want to write it down. Some people can comment. I already discussed it with Leo. Yeah, looks good. So I just wanna write it down.
Great. Thanks, Diego. Francisco's not here. Mikey's away. PJ's not here. Al is not here. Let's see. Kelly. Sorry, the list is getting very long. Okay, let's go with Dimitri. I know you're in the safe zone, but you're the first person I could think of.
No, that's
this.
totally fine. I updates on that. I need to scroll. Oh, I can just look at your screen. The exchange listing is just in communications. That's what 75%. Just kind of playing tag and trying to push these certain exchanges through, getting meetings going and allocating their existing budgets. NFT marketplaces was resolved last week after talking with Devin, and one of our partners has some features coming out that should do everything we need. And then the Treasury operation recommendation for DAOs is the recommendations are there, but we need to hammer out the contract interactions on the multi-sig to figure out how we can either redo that UI or have a step-by-step process to get the multi-sig to interact with DeFi protocols so we can diversify DAO treasuries into stable coins or things that are a little bit more manageable to different market conditions. And then the DeFi proposal that's taking up most of my time is just looking at building liquidity infrastructure and hopefully rolling that out with some synergy with the one BTC push. It'd be really useful if we could get that in parallel with that, but we're just plugging away.
All right. Thanks, Dimitri. Rob, I'm sorry I missed you.
That's all right, I'm patient. The one thing it's at the top there, the creating new onboard intake form, that has taken an enormous amount of time. But what we're trying to do is build upon the success of the Notion summary page under welcome that we created last month, and automate much of that because information gets lost as it travels between emails, text messages, telegrams, this and that. And so we're trying to automate that into a streamlined process that everyone will be pleasantly surprised with, and it'll be much easier to use by the end of the month. The second part on there, it goes without saying, getting everybody who's already in there to actually finish their Notion pages. Communications are what drags that number down the longest. And then the last one for onboarding tutorial videos. That's a process that Amanda and I were actually working on last month. She's writing scripts and I'm creating the videos and editing them out. The 4 are actually done. We're just in editing process right now as of like an hour ago.
Great. Thanks, Rob. Garrick. Garrick, are you there?
Yes, I apologize. I'm driving right now, so I wanted to make sure I was safe when unmuting. How's everyone doing today?
Not too bad.
Happy to hear that. So yeah, my scope shifted a little bit halfway through the month, but happy that we've gotten the NYC event matrix fully established. And that is almost fully established. That's at 90%. I'll have that done by the end of the week. In general, we're starting to shift the event model to start to curate events rather than sponsor events, so we can reduce costs over the next couple of months. And Harmony has such an amazing presence in the event space. I think we can significantly reduce event costs by about like 60%. And then my other deliverable, which is, so that's at 90%. I'll have that done by the end of the week. And publishing the event scouting guidelines, we started on that. That's about 30%. We'll also have that done by the end of the week.
Excellent. Thank you, Garrick. Okay, let's see. Working our way down. Kayla.
Yep. So I finalized the sponsorship deck, got it approved by Essa and Garrick. In efforts to reduce operation costs, sent out some to my existing network, working with Anne to get the accommodations locked down, hopefully latest by Friday. And I converted the NFT NYC proposal to our planning template. We're building that out, iterating necessary templates. And the goal for this week is to bridge Ambassador DAO with our events team on the onboarding process.
Okay. Thanks, Kayla. Okay, let's see. Jarvis is not here. Chuck. I don't think you've spoken here before, so.
Yeah, so social learning guide for OneDAO core tools. We've selected our core tooling suite. We have DoDAO with those 5 that'll be done Monday. We'll have DAO Lens, and then we'll have the other 5 done by Friday of this week. And then we're going to be consolidating all those, which will be a pleasant surprise, into a overall DAO tool learning course that day 1A1, DAOists can come in and go through this DAO tool learning course, which should definitely spur adoption of core tools and really kind of be a good lead in for increasing education amongst everybody in OneDAO Alliance. Which would be cool. We're actually changing education to social learning because that's a lot more beneficial as well too. They developed the OneDAO brand and market strategy. Very exciting. Just had a really good meeting with Sam about it, and have been just really deep diving into a way that we can really emphasize the technology aspect, but also bring the cohesion of the alliance together. Obviously, all that is community sourced, and so we're just consolidating it down, which is my specialty, and I'm really happy to get with that, as well as the go-to-market strategy for that and increasing adoption there. I think everybody will be really pleasantly surprised and impressed with what we bless you, what we came up with. I'm sorry, I have manners. And then past that, the onboard 10 contributors to Basic DAO. I do know that we were fully on a hiatus, what I call a ceasefire as opposed to a ceasefire. But we wanted to really help Rob and Maddie out with their onboarding process, which I've been really impressed with Rob in the group that he kind of created there. And so we want to make sure that we do have a sample size for them to be able to bring in people. So nobody's going to work, but I did curate a really special list amongst Web3 of people to bring in as the first 10 contributors there, including the journalist of the year, 3 of the probably top marketing professionals that I know inside of Web3, and also some really high level skilled event and business development people. So a high level list of contributors that I brought on, and I'm 90% done on that. I have one more interview with that, and that'll be done by probably Wednesday, and I'll be 100% there, good to go as well too.
All right, thanks, Chuck. Okay, Juan.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is pretty good. I am delighted with the participation of the community because it's growing a lot. I have filtered the new projects that have been arrived and follow up with the rest that are underway and continue with asking questions and obtaining more information for those that are not yet approved. And we have had meetings in order to be able to investigate new options to speed up or accelerate the adoption of new validators with devnet. And also we had a meeting with for better storage options with the storage aid. And that's it.
Great. Thank you, Juan. Okay, I know I skipped over a few people. Anyone here want to share an update? Rachel?
Yeah, so just one thing I'd like to add, just to piggyback off of what Shock was saying. So we are working with DoDAO to create DAO tooling training content, kind of like guidebooks for our community to onboard them to each DAO tool. In conjunction with that, we're actually creating DAO tooling training videos. We're no longer doing webinars, but we want to have concise, digestible content for our community. So I've worked with Mikey and I've worked with Devin on this to create a framework for these demo videos. And moving forward, we're looking into June to start releasing these. This week, we're going to heavily focus on Opolis, and Devin, myself, I believe Maddie and Rob will also be on this call with Opolis. That way we can start onboarding workers in Harmony to the Opolis tool as well.
To piggyback on what Rachel was saying, this week we'll also be integrating DoDAO with Gnosis. So we'll have a reward-based system where they'll be able to earn, hopefully 1 reputation tokens if we go that route, but they'll be able to earn tokens. So it'll be a great reward-based social learning program that we have going on there as well too. That'll also be able to unlock different elements of Discord and different unlockables that'll kind of show that verification. But Rachel's doing a great job on that, and I'm looking forward to working together on the social rollout strategy for that too.
Yeah, and I also want to say Adrian's team, Elam and Wani have been a great help with helping us to get different graphics created, intro and outro animations. We really want to make sure moving forward with these videos that we have professional, really good looking content. So that's something that we are trying to do moving forward.
Excellent. Thanks, Rachel. Anyone else? Any updates? Oh, we got a
just
few
got
hands
something
up.
really quick. Oh, sorry if there were hands up before me. My apologies.
Go on, Daniel. Just finish up.
Sure. Yeah. I'll be quick. Just want to mention and give a reminder to anyone watching this and everyone on this calls that the Q2 2022 offsite report is out there. It's on talk.harmony.one, and we also have a special 1 weekly episode on YouTube that covers the report. And at a high level, you'll see that our initiatives and takeaways from the offsite focus on technology, ecosystem marketing, and communications. So you'll read things about cross-shard messaging, 1BTC yield, elastic RPC, and some strategies that we've formed to help focus a bit more on gaming to help expand the Harmony ecosystem. So check that out on both talktoharmony.one and YouTube.
Thanks, Daniel. All right, Bruce.
Hi, yes, I just wanted to chime in real quick for a sec and bring up that I think I'm still missing some permissions. I don't have access to the Notion. I've had to have other people updating my stuff. So I don't know exactly how that works or whatever, because I'm still kind of new, but whoever, whatever needs to happen there, please let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll sort you out.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, hi, yeah, this is Tom. So we are hiring a marketing lead. So I will reach to you. So please help to retweet a post on LinkedIn. So we are, everyone is recruiter, and our bar is really high. Our currently, our resume database are about 3,000 resumes, and if we calculate the statistics, the rate to hire about 1%. So we need more resumes. Yeah, so I will reach a DM you and please help to retweet and then post on LinkedIn. Thank you very much.
Jose, thanks for your patience.
Sorry, hi everyone. Well, I just want to update on some events that I'm working with. We got a local team working for East Mexico. We are waiting for the sponsorship deck at the end of this month. And we got this team working in a comprehensive and cost-efficient plan for the event. Also, last week I got some meetings with the local people in Argentina for the Isleta in Buenos Aires. In the same way, making some plans for a cost-efficient and improved impact of a comprehensive plan to attend this event.
Great. Thanks, Jose. Who else? Any other questions, comments?
So last week we had 2 days outage of our testnet. So yeah, I want to provide some updates. So the root cause was because of the hosted zone for our testnet was the subscription was expired. So that was after we finally figured out the problem. So unfortunately at that time the testnet was outage for 2 days, and I have to there was one workaround. We have a devnet. So I updated our document about the devnet, which is a stable network dedicated for dApp developer, because our current testnet is also being used for protocol test. So there will be cases that won't be stable or will be crashing or something, but that's expected. So our devnet should be as stable as the mainnet. It's a smaller network, but should be dedicated for dApp developer. So I advocate that to our developer community and provided all the information, and also thanks for EasyNode, they launched a faucet for devnet as well. So it's available to be used by all the dApp developer. You can deploy contract with a faucet to request a token. So regarding our testnet, so we still have to keep it running because of our partner. They deployed a lot of their testing contract on our testnet already. So it looks like it will be hard for us to reset our current testnet. So we need to work with our partner, for example, like a DFK. So they have a huge number of the contract launching our testnet already. So, but just a reminder to everyone, the testnet may not have 100% uptime because it's testnet, and our goal is to really use the devnet as a stable network for everyone to test it.
Great, thanks, Leo. Anyone else? Okay. Oh, yep, who's that?
Do you want to share anything about the May deliverables or Q2 for the team?
Yeah, we just have a few days left, so the expectation is that your progress is at 100% by the end of this month. So please do review. Speak to your manager if you have any issues. And we are going to start working on the Q2 performance reviews, which has been open since the beginning of the quarter. So you're welcome to go in and add feedback for your colleagues anytime you like. But the goal is that we go in there at the end of each month, right, and provide feedback for the month, and then we will aggregate everything at the end of the quarter next month. Anything specific, Lee, you wanted to bring up?
So yeah, I think help. So by today, as Giv mentioned, the simple math is if it's the 23rd day of the month, the three numbers add up to 230%. If anybody still hasn't updated today, I'll DM you just to remind you at this point. And ask if you're having trouble, if this is taking, as an individual contributor, if it's taking you longer than 15 to 30 minutes a week on the team operations, talk to your manager, figure out where you're blocked so we can unblock you. It's not meant to be a heavy process if everyone just do their part, right? Like, of course, by the time it's 65 people and coordinating, it becomes a lot harder for Giv actually to follow up with all of you. So if everyone just does their part, it'll make the whole process much easier. The contributors are evaluated every month at the end of the month. This will be the document. This along with Q2, April, May, Q2, June, will be the document to evaluate all the contributors, all the fellows at the end of the quarter. So this is why we, it's just a reminder. I think everyone should know that, but this is why we should keep the documents up to date. And when someone is, if Giv DMs you, if I DM you, that just means that we're thinking about you. You're probably behind on the process. So please do your part.
Thanks, Lee. Ganesha?
Yeah, I just recruited new guy to Harmony.
Hey, there he is. Oh, that's a cool onesie.
Yeah, thanks. Sir.
Where do I get an adult size one?
Yeah, I don't want to know the fact that you're still wearing onesies, sir. Like that's, I mean, maybe it's not for you. Maybe I'm making an assumption here.
Yeah. No, it's for me.
You know,
Right,
so I got a
everyone.
baby on the way, and I would love it if I could figure out where to get one of those for the baby shower, dude. Like I would. Oh my gosh, it's next month, or it's this month on the 16th, and so any insight would be lovely. Maybe one for myself too.
Yeah. Reach out to Ganesha.
Those were actually a sample from Jiminy. It was basically like, hey, you should check this out, and if you want to order more, you can, type of thing.
Awesome. Okay, everyone. If there's nothing else, I'll send you to your breakout rooms. Have a great week.